We always go live when the cat meows. Good evening. You frozen? There we go.
You're back now.
You're back.
Good evening and welcome to Success in the City. My name is Helen Webster and I'm with the lovely
Sandra Scott. And we haven't got our guest today because our guest couldn't make it. But the positive thing is we've got the next 5 weeks booked up completely. So that's all good stuff.
And I think I was thinking about what happened was we'd booked everybody in advance for a Wednesday and then we've changed to a Tuesday.
Which is my fault.
That's not your fault. So there's people who were booked in for Wednesdays and then obviously couldn't make the Tuesday, but now we're sorted. And so we're sorted for the next. But we can still rock on with just you and I because you did loads last week and we're super excited.
Hilarious week, you know. I'm manic. I think we've had loads going on and we haven't seen each other so much this week because there has been that much going on.
Yeah.
So,
first, we're going to shout out to the kids. Okay. So Scarlett got a certificate for good reading. She got started the week, I think, for good reading, but she'd also done about 100 other things. So big shout out to Scarlett for doing it amazing and getting certificates and things. And if anyone's listening and you know, any little people are getting certificates, we love to give them a shout out because I think it's really cool to celebrate the wins and for them to get certificates is a big, massive deal, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And even like I taught a young lad, he's just good. All my little ones are gorgeous actually. I teach a lad who's 6, normally face to face, but last week it was online on Friday. I did it because I'd been on a course in the week. And the first thing he said to me when we came online is, I got a certificate at school. He told me straight away, and I said, oh, well done. That's fantastic. So there we go. So well done to him. Here's Lynn. Hello, both. Smile. Fantastic.
Hello. We're going to say good evening to Lynn.
Okay, go on. Show us how. Good evening, please. Inside. Good.
Evening.
Oh, evening.
Yeah, so like night as well because the curtains are closing. I think of it the curtains closing. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Lynn has a sign name because she's got really long hair. So that's Lynn's sign name.
Oh, like that. What, a man be like that? My dad.
Yeah. Vermicelli hair.
Yes, it was vermicelli hair. Oh, yeah. So,
she's saying good evening back to us. Yeah.
Back. Fantastic. Okay.
Cool.
And then I had all my little ones have been brilliant and they've all been doing really well and stuff. So that's great. And my little Thomas, who's lovely, I teach a little lad Portuguese for half an hour on a Wednesday online. And they're just brilliant and they've, you know, been engaging with everything really well. And then I saw Jacob for the first time in about 3 weeks because they had COVID and everything. Yeah. So that was nice to see him. And you popped in and saw him as well. So all my little munchkins this week have been amazing. And today, Corey, who isn't so little, he's in secondary school in year 7. The Russian has just clicked. And I don't teach him Russian. I did a few, but then as he got better, we've got a Russian tutor, Tanya, who's amazing, who's lovely with him as well. And he's brilliant. And he just today, I was like that. And I could hear him in the kitchen and he was just rattling it off. So I was so pleased. Yeah. So they're all the young ones brilliantly this week.
So Tom's listening in from New Orleans. And don't forget, it's Winnie the Pooh Day. I did not know that.
I didn't know it was Winnie the Pooh Day, Tom.
So if I'd have known it was Winnie the Pooh Day, I'd have been a little bit more themed in my this or that. But I haven't.
Well, I might put a post on then on Chataway and put all Winnie the Pooh in all the different languages because they call him different things. He's Winnie Nounours in French. So we can do all the different things for Winnie the Pooh. How cool. Brilliant.
Cool. Okay. So and Dana's listening in. Mwah, big kisses today. And she says, that's adorable. She loves Winnie the Pooh. I think Dana is a little bit more Tigger than Winnie the Pooh. Just saying.
I'm quite Tigger.
Oh, and Tom's given us some interesting facts. Anyone else got interesting facts about Winnie the Pooh? We'd love to hear them. I just discovered he was created in 1926.
Yes, by A.A. Milne.
Fantastic. Lovely. I also want to shout out to James. So Rachel's little James, he was 4 on Sunday, and he drew his first picture, that he brought home.
Yeah.
And he drew these 2 people with these like great big long legs, and one of them had these like 2 little dot things on his legs. And we were like, "What's that?" And he was like, "Daddy's knees."
Oh, that's hilarious, isn't it? They're hilarious, aren't they?
And it was just like super cute. And that's like the first sort of proper, I mean, he draws in it, but it was the first proper picture that he brought home. And I was like, oh, we need to put that on the fridge because it's
The things they come out with are just joyous, aren't they?
We went for tea last week, and then he went to bed, and he was lying there, and Rachel was saying, "Close your eyes." And he said, she was like, "Close your eyes and go to sleep." And he went, "But going to sleep's boring." He goes, "When my eyes are awake, it's more fun."
Well, he's right, isn't he?
I was like, how cute is that for?
Oh, little angel. They're clever. I love the things they come out with. They're brilliant, you know.
Yeah, it's just cool little things. So successes this week, Sam, don't give them all away. Give us a little snippet because we're going to do a big success later on.
Well, I've had some really good successes. I've had a really positive week because I met with John Howie today, who's coming on the show in a few weeks because he's going to talk about this big event he's doing with us, which I'm very excited about. And through John Moores, and John Howie has got lots and lots of support for businesses in the city, helping them digital, and it's all funded, so it's really good. And we all need a bit of a lift in business after what's been going on over the past couple of years. So I'm delighted about that. And we've got Stuart Capstick coming on as well. I spoke to him, and he's in the band called, he's a solicitor by day.
Oh, right, I didn't know.
By night, yeah, he's a very successful solicitor. And he plays Jim Morrison in this tribute band called The Doors Rising that are absolutely excellent. We spoke to Heather de Groot today, who's looking at coming on and talking to us about how they help companies enhance what they call this CSR. And for people who don't know, it means corporate social responsibility. So as a business, doing your bit for the area, for society, not just giving something back. And I know we're blowing our own trumpet, but I think in our area, we're really good at that. People like helping people locally, and we've got lots of friends in business. If you ask them for anything to help someone, they will straight away. People are just so kind and amazing. So there's just loads of good stuff being going on like that, really. Loads of opportunities coming up and meeting good people. I've got 3 new clients, which are great. All my clients are gorgeous. They're just such lovely, interesting people, and there we go. All doing Spanish. Nobody for French at the minute. No. And not many for Italian. I know, but I love French as well, don't I?
Yeah. Have to put the French out there a bit more then.
I know.
Spanish is just like everybody seems to think Spanish is more cool, isn't it? Everybody go on holiday to Spain, don't they? I would think than France, do they? Yeah. So definitely, yeah.
You've got better weather.
Yes.
In Spain, as a rule, you're dicing with death going to France, especially with the north with the weather. It's too risky. So
brilliant. So successes this week for me is so we've got all our young people in the office, and we do a monthly appraisal with them. And we ask for 3 things that they've been amazing and what they've been really, good at and stuff. And it's lovely to watch from day one to now how they are, and they're just nailing life, aren't they? They're just doing so well. And I want to give a big shout out to Walton Youth Project. So Darren, who works with the Walton Youth Project, who's going to come on our show, and he's great, Darren. And he gave us some computers that like desktops that because they've got laptops now. So we got 5, and 2 of them weren't working. So Jack's going to have a little go because he's a bit of a computer whiz and can build things. And we're going to build them and fix them. So if anybody would like a computer desktop for their house and possibly is in need of one, maybe hasn't got one in the house or knows of anybody who hasn't got one in the house, then we're going to get it all up and running and stuff like that. And then we'll gift them back out because, you know, they came to us. And then if we can fix them and give them on, that'd be great. So yeah, massive shout out to them. And what else have we done this week? We've launched the calf stretcher, which is a brand new product for us. And on Sunday, I went to Norris Green Park where John is doing a running group. And it's only his second week doing the running group. It's a beginner's running group. It's all free. So if anybody wants to go, Norris Green Park on a Sunday at 10 o'clock.
Can you run if you like Phoebe or Friends?
Yeah, you can run however. John's amazing. He's just a really lovely man. So John is Tommy Lee's stepdad who'd been on our show. And Tommy Lee
started already, the running group. Did they go this Sunday? And how long have you got to run for? Can you just do half a mile? Or do you have to do a whole mile or 3 miles or something?
You can do whatever you want to do. So it's just about getting out there and, you know, and there's different abilities and things. I'm going to go on Sunday and see if anybody... so I took the calf stretch and wedge and they all the people who'd been for the run then had a little go on it and just give me a little bit of feedback, which was brilliant.
Yeah.
And then I've given it to John to take home. So John is like an ultra marathon runner and a marathon runner.
Yeah.
But then taking it, you know, a group of beginners out with his friend. I think his friend was called Steve, who was a really nice guy as well. And then Tommy Lee is, you know, he's running marathons and things. Oh, John's in. We loop back for everyone, he says.
That's it. Well, loop back. What does that
so
mean?
what happens is you run, and then when you get to a lamppost, for instance, or you pick a spot, people turn around and then come back, and then you run as a group again. So nobody's ever left on their own. And John's...
I'll be doing a mile, and they'll be doing 5 because they'll be coming.
That's all right, because if you can do 5 miles, that's cool, isn't it? And it's you know, it's just great, and John's like a really cool nice guy to, you know, dead patient and calm and stuff, even though he's an ultra marathon, which I didn't know. So I think I might be doing a little challenge.
How far do they run though?
So they did a loop around so he's got loads of different routes because he's ran for years and years and years. He's got loads of different routes that he takes them. And because there's 2 of them, John will take some out, and I think Steve took a few. And then if I'm going to be there as well, I could potentially take a few, you know, or I could join in or whatever. If he wants to.
I'll do that Sunday morning, 10 o'clock. What time are you done by?
Well done by 11. Yeah.
Right, that's it.
Well, and it was lovely. So I think he had 7 on his first week, and I think there might have been about 10 or 11 last week, which is amazing for week 2 to have that many people there.
And if anybody wishes to join and come along, how much does it cost?
No, it's free.
It's free. Unbelievable. Okay, we loop back. Yes, he said we loop back for everyone. Isn't that fantastic? 11, he said. He might have had 11 in his group.
Oh, right, yeah. So it starts at 10, finishes at 11, free of charge. And the girls were lovely, you know, the girls who were there, because I just turned up, and they were all lovely and really welcome. And so it's a group of everyday people, okay? They're not mega elite athletes, right? So nobody needs to be scared about going, and different abilities. And everybody who's been a runner and been to a club has to start somewhere. And you tend to find, you know, like John's done ultra marathons and things like that.
Yeah.
Because he's lived it and he's done it himself, he understands that and is really super patient and can take, like, you know, he took Tommy to teach him how to do his marathon, and he took him on a run. So we were having a little chat about I might possibly do a bit of a trail marathon or something like that, because he sort of gave me a bit of a bug when he was talking about stuff. I was like, yeah.
Well, you can do your ultra marathon, and I'll try to go from one lamppost to the next. But I like the fact that no one will hit me with a cattle prod if I'm slow and stuff like that. So I'm up for that. Definitely.
No cattle prods allowed.
Great. Good.
So so that was cool. So we're going to play this or that with just you and I.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then we're going to talk all about your exciting week, okay? So I'm going to go first.
Go on then. I wasn't ready for this. Go on.
Board game or card game?
Board game, obviously.
Okay.
There's an element of choice in a board game. There's lots of different things you can do. Clearly, Scrabble is a great game, which I enjoy immensely. Trivial Pursuit, chess, which is fantastic. Trivial Pursuit, although if my mother plays Trivial Pursuit, you never get the go. Once she gets it, that's it. She just fills the pie up and
yes, well in Dana. Dana says card games all day, every day, but Scrabble is a shout.
Fair enough, Dana. That's true. And you see, Dana can play Scrabble in French as well, like me. So, and as well, I just love our Ronan's a psychopath at Monopoly. He goes crazy. He's a megalomaniac. So there's loads of different games, and I love all different board games. I find them really interesting, and I love them. Card games are cool, but I feel you're limited.
Really?
Yes, I know yours will be card games because you're like that.
Well, I do love a card game, and I learned how to count by playing like pontoon and 21 and poker and things like that. So my granddad taught us how to count by playing cards and by playing darts. So he taught us how to add up by playing darts.
Yeah.
And when we first started playing, we used to play like pontoon. So 21, you have to get to 21. And we used to bet with matchsticks.
Yeah.
So you used to go like matchsticks and things. So you don't really care if you lose matchsticks, do you? And when he changed it and you bet with your sweets, it was a whole new ball game. It was like, and should I be betting this or shouldn't I? You know what I mean? So, so I love card games. I think card games, you can stick a packet in your pocket and you can play them wherever you want. But I do love board games. But mine's more like Mousetrap and. Like Scrabble, and I love drafts. We used to play drafts all the time.
Drafts is just over in 2 minutes. I always wanted to play Mousetrap, and
I've got Mousetrap. Phil bought me Mousetrap last year.
Oh, bring it in the office.
And this year he bought me Ping Pong Connect 4.
Ping Pong Connect 4.
So you'd have to bounce.
Bounce the ball. You're frozen for me there. Well,
Connect 4. You know the Connect 4 when you put the counters in.
Yeah.
So you'd have ping pong balls.
Right.
So you have to bounce them on the table and then bounce them into the slot. How cool is that?
Added stress, but fair enough. Yeah. No, that sounds okay. Brilliant. So it's board games for me. So are you cards then?
Yeah, probably cards. So John Howie's listening in. Hiya, John. We've just given you a shout out about your amazing.
A big shout out for you because you're coming on soon.
Yeah. And Peter Lloyd is listening in. He was our guest. He was the marathon runner who I might pick his brains about his marathon training. Yeah. And he says you've got to love the imagination games.
Well, I've got something to confess. So when I was teaching Rowan today, and his mum was there with their young daughter in the pushchair, I let them go outside our work, where the carpet area is, and use the imagination games, but she did absolutely love it.
Brilliant.
So it is brilliant. So good shout, Peter. Yeah, definitely.
And the imagination games is all about kids creating their own games. So it's about them moving. There's no plugs. You don't plug anything in. It's a bag of kit, and it's based on agility, balance, coordination. And it's to get the kids moving, but moving with creating. And then we give them challenges every month so that they have to create their own little stuff. So
yeah, and most of all using their own imagination as well. So she made this ACE assault course and everything. So there you go. So that was that. Okay.
Go on then, your this or that.
Yeah, so my this or that for you is 4-wheel drive vehicle, off-roader, or sports car.
Ooh, 4-wheel drive off-roader. I'm not loving sports cars because you can't go over like speed bumps or anything in them, can you?
Well,
but like a 4-wheel drive, you can just like get in. And I love driving vans. I love driving big trucks and vans.
No, I don't know what I'd say to this if it was me, I don't know what my answer would be. So I had like a fake 4-wheel drive, a Vauxhall Frontera year. Well, a Vauxhall Frontier is a bit of a fake. It's not a Range Rover, let's face it. So I had one of those years ago, and I've never had a sports car. My mate had an MX-5 years ago.
Oh, that's my dream car is the MX.
Oh,
That's
lovely.
the MX-5.
It's a sports car then, isn't it? But
Yeah.
guess what happened? This is a bit embarrassing. I don't know if I told you this. So, I downloaded this app and it says about your driving. And once you've done so much, you can apply to get like reduced car insurance because you're such a good driver.
Wow.
Now, as we know, I have my challenges behind the wheel of the car. Anyway, when you drove us to Mulvama, when we went up for the walk with all the group and everything last weekend with our Ronan and the dog, I hit the good driver thing. And it's over the last 14 days. Well, unfortunately, that's worn off now. And I've gone below the good driver segment. And it says, oh, try a bit harder.
Did you remember your glasses?
Yeah, it's going down each day. I don't drive without them now. I can't. And every day it's going down a couple of points away from the good driver. So I need to get in the car with you.
And we'll get it back.
Or just put my phone in your car for a day and that. But what's alarming that I'm really annoyed about is that you've come out a significantly better driver than me, going all the way to Mulvama when we went up round, got lost in the village and over the hills and far away, etc., which was my fault. So there we go. So I'm fuming over that, actually. I've got to hold my hand up and admit it. Yeah, that was a bit of a...
I might download that app then, and then I can become a good driver and get some money off me.
Like that?
That's like one of them black boxes fitted, isn't it?
Well, that's another thing. So I've been looking, because my new car insurance is due on the 1st of February. So I've been looking for like the last couple of weeks for car insurance, and there's all different deals. And then they keep saying you have to have a box fitted, and I think, oh no. Boxes. So I thought maybe it'll help me.
No, you don't want a black box. Stay away from the black box fitted to your car.
Escalate. Imagine next year's quote, £2,000. So there we go.
So John Howie says a 4-wheel drive. He says a 4-wheel drive. Okay. Cool. Toilet roll. Okay.
What the hell's
over or under? You know when it's against the wall.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. It's not even a choice.
So away from the wall. Yeah, over.
This is common knowledge. It's a well-known fact. Anyone who does the toilet roll the wrong way, it casts doubt on their character. I stayed somewhere and someone did that, and I was like that.
Whenever I go with the toilet roll, I change it the other way.
Why? Why'd you do that?
Because I can't bear that people have it like close to the wall.
I thought you meant you just do it the alternate way.
No, I just change it. And I tell you where it was great is the Pullman Hotel. When you go to the Pullman Hotel, we went on Danny Clark, so he was one of our guests, wasn't he? We've been on his course. And when you go into the toilet, they have it folded. You know, the toilet roll folded. And then I went in. I always seem to go to into the same toilet, and I went in, and then I went again at say lunchtime, and it was folded again, and I was like, that is just amazing customer service. That when it's folded again, when you've been, just fantastic.
It is. I like it there. It's a nice hotel.
Yeah. Really. So I'm with you on that one. Okay, your go.
Oh, that's just mental, that one. Okay, right. Hot drinks cup, bamboo or stainless steel?
Oh, so I've got both. And I tend to use my stainless steel one because the lid is better, and it actually clips on, and whereas the bamboo one.
Well, I've got a China
and carrying it is better on. So I'd say stainless steel, and the stainless steel one's easier to wash.
I'd rather have bamboo. I'm not a lover of stainless steel cups at all. I had a China one, but it broke. But I'd like a night with Jane Kane. That's hilarious. Jane Kane's put deep questions tonight. They are, Jane. Nietzsche, Plato, Aristotle. They've got nothing on us.
I know.
Thinkers here. Just call us philosophers. Right, go on, your go.
Okay. Shopping in store or online?
Oh, dear God in heaven. In store, Helen. In store.
100%.
There's no substitute. Plus, you can't touch the clothes online. You can't see them. And actually, sometimes the photos don't do things justice. And when you actually see them, or if you see something like in a, years ago, people would come round. I had a boyfriend whose mum did Avon. So you try and support a business, etc. So you'd buy something. So apologies to Avon if your catalogs are amazing, but you'd buy it and it'd be like this thing. And in the picture, it was like amazing. Or like the lipsticks were all 10 shades out and stuff like that. So I know it's not like that now. Well done to Avon people. But then it was horrendous.
The best one was, so Mark Carr's been on our show, hasn't he? You know, the photographer.
Yeah.
And he ordered some mixing bowls, these 3 glass mixing bowls, which was when they arrived, they were like for a doll's house.
Like for a doll's house, weren't they? And he said he should have checked the measurements, and he didn't. That was so funny.
Yeah. But I'm shopping online as well. Shopping in stores, sorry, as well. You want the interaction with the cashiers and the people in the shop and stuff, and carrying a bag around.
Oh, I love it. And I got a dress on Sunday in the M&S sale. I went to M&S in Aintree, and I met my friend Alex for coffee there, and we had a nice little coffee and a catch up, and she got a dress because it's her birthday coming up, and I got a bargain. She didn't get a bargain dress. She got a full price dress. I got a bargain dress, but I was made up with mine. So so that was great. Okay.
So
got time for another or not?
Yeah, go on, too. Yeah.
Okay then. Spanish guitar music.
Ooh.
Or bagpipes.
That's a really tricky one, that. I'd have to say Spanish guitar. What about you?
Well, you're not going to believe that I love bagpipes, because don't forget, half my family is Scottish. And when you hear a piper, it's like, oh, it's really passionate. And like I went to this conference in Glasgow the other year, and it was they piped us in, and they had the pipers go through. It was a few years ago. It was the World ADHD conference when I was at the ADHD Foundation. And it was amazing, and they piped us all the way through. At my nephew's wedding in August, they had pipers, and it's nice it's open air music, of course, isn't it?
I think pipers are amazing for a song.
Yeah.
You wouldn't listen to an album.
Okay, some people would argue with that, but fair enough. But when any single person in the world who lived around Childwall, Bellevale, any of that area, down Childwall, there was a man who practiced the bagpipes, and he was in a block of flats every Sunday morning, and you'd hear it. And we were up, so my mum lives off Chilwell Abbey Road, and you'd hear the bagpipe, and he must have been half a mile away. And I used to think, what's it like if you live next door to him? At least Spanish guitars are inoffensive anyway. So funny enough, James put Spanish guitar. Yes. I think a lot of people would be with you, James.
I'd like to know if anybody would pick bagpipes.
I like bagpipes. I like bagpipes. I love them, but like for one song, for an opening, or not for an album, as you say. If I had to pick of an album, I'd pick Spanish guitar. But again, I can only take so much of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which leads us in quite nicely to what we're going to talk about now. So last Tuesday was our very first Tuesday show. And we changed it to a Tuesday at 7:30 because on a Wednesday at 7 o'clock, you are now doing something else. So going back lockdown, pre-lockdown, you've always wanted to do this. And during lockdown, you had your audition.
I did.
With a biscuit tin and
sticks. So it was the noise was unbelievable online when we did it. Yeah. So I went to the Batala. So it's called Newbie School. So it's really good actually, because loads of people who are very experienced, who've been doing it for years, they all come and they go between us. So you've got people to help you in each group. There's 4 different types of drums. So you have to have a go on. So we had to go with 2 different drums. And then this week I'll try 2 other drums. And the weight of some of them is unbelievable. You have like a kit to put the drums on, to attach the drum to. They have these big massive ones, and then I tried a dobra, which is a big one but not as the biggest one. It's like the 3rd one. And then I tried another one which was smaller, etc. So I tried the smallest and the 3rd one, and I love the 3rd one. So I'm going to try the biggest this week and then the one in between. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's quite complicated, and it's a real professional setup they've got there. You know, you fill in your proper forms, and you know, you've got to have your contact details in case you keel over and stuff like that. And it was great. However, the level of concentration required was something else. So you start off by moving your leg from side to side. Bless you.
So when you start moving your legs, have you got the drum attached to you at that time, or is that just
yes, because they all require belts and pads and things, because they're quite weighty. They can bruise you or things like that, because you're carrying the drum, not with your hands physically.
No,
you're using your body sticks, but in your body. So there's all different ways and different harnesses and stuff to carry them. So you have that on, and then they just start with the legs. So you're doing that. So I got my head around that, and you know what my coordination's like, diabolical. So I was carrying on, and I thought, yeah, I've got this. This is okay. It's dead straightforward. Then you add the drum. So the minute I had to do the drum, the legs went, obviously. But the people are so kind. So they can't speak because the noise. You have to wear ear defenders.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the noise is all, because it's so loud.
Yeah.
Drums, the Batala. So they're just showing you and demonstrating you, but the people are really, really kind. So it was absolutely brilliant. I was there 2 hours. It was like 30 minutes.
Wow.
But
so did you get a break in that 2 hours?
I don't know. I don't think so. I can't remember. It was just, you're just so busy. It's full on. It really is. And of course, the experienced people are great, and they're doing all this with their arms in between. And I was just trying to go like that. And each drum had, so we did one thing we were learning. It's Batala, it's called. And so all the other Batala groups all over the world, they can do all the same things. So the idea is you go from one and you know it, you go to another.
Yeah.
And they go, and they go to the Notting Hill Carnival, and they have or like, well, and it's just so cool. It's really, really good. When we did the second part, one of the ladies comes out to me, and they'd said at the beginning, we'll be coming taking your details. So I thought, oh, they pulled me out because I'm so bad. But it wasn't, thank God. It was to take my personal details, to email me or whatever, because I near died.
So was there lots of newbies there?
Everyone was new. It was newbie school, so it's a 12-week program.
12 weeks, yeah.
And you go all the time, etc. for 12 weeks. You couldn't miss one. You'd never catch up. You know. Well, I wouldn't. And so these people, obviously volunteers, the kind who've been doing it for years, and they come to help you. And as soon as I walked in, there was a lady I knew there, so that she was really welcoming. So that was lovely. And the people, they're just dead nice. They're all different types of people. There's men and women do it. It's not just women. And it was really, really good. So I'm quite excited. I'm looking forward to it. So I've got to remember to take me ear things. Defenders. They're not like the big type.
No, the little plugs.
You have to wear them. It's compulsory because it's so loud. They're dead into all the health and safety. You've got to do a COVID test before you can walk in there.
Brilliant.
So they were great. Clearly I'd forgotten, so they gave me one. They were all dead nice. So it was brilliant.
So how did you feel on the Thursday?
Oh, well, on the Wednesday night, I was exhausted. On the Thursday, I woke up and went, my legs. Because it's not just your arms, it's your legs as well, because the weight of the drum as you move in. But honestly, it's brilliant. But you see, they sold me with their travel stories about everywhere they go. and they said a year February they're going to Salvador, which is in Bahia in Brazil. And I've been learning Portuguese, so I was like, oh my God. And they perform in the carnival, and the carnival in Salvador is actually bigger than the Rio Carnival.
Wow.
Carnival in the world. So I'm very, very excited about the whole thing.
And what do they wear?
Well, they have all different costumes and stuff. So they have fabric, and they tend to wear black and red. That's the colour, black, red, and white. So a lot of them had different things. So I just wore my jeans and that to go. So they're just in jeans, trainers, boots, whatever. Just practical. You have to wear shin pads and everything. I have shin pads on, yeah, because the weight of the drum and everything. Yeah. So, but they've got all the kit. I mean, the kits, they have a lot of kit there for people, and they add everything there. So you have to
probably as people get into it, they'll buy their own bits and pieces.
That's exactly it. And the lady, some of the women were telling me that and that. They're just so nice, the people, though. So I loved it. So I'm really looking forward to going back there. But I'm hoping it'll help with a bit of fitness as well. Actually.
Oh, 100% it will. Yeah. So what happens after your 12 weeks?
Well, after 12 weeks, you go to you can be part of the band, which is quite unnerving, but because they know all these different musical pieces. So we were looking at the Batala one, but you've got to learn all this stuff. So there's loads going on, but you can see the videos online. So I've been looking on YouTube and Facebook and watching it. But you have to concentrate immensely. Well, for me, anyway, I did. Someone else might be a natural.
So apparently drumming. So Steve Shotton, who's a great guy, who you've met Steve, haven't you?
Yeah.
And he designed Drummer Size, which was to drum and do fitness at the same time.
Wow.
And apparently when you're drumming, you're using your left and your right hand side of your brain. So it's really good for people with rehab who've had like strokes and things like that. And what happens is when you start to drum a beat, so he does things, and he does sayings with his drumming when you first start, and you might like do tapping two and then banging, something like that. And he does it to like a beat, and he does it to words. And if he asks you the question when you're doing it, you stop drumming because you can't think and drum at the same.
Well, I couldn't move my legs and drum at the same time, let alone think. The people who do it are fantastic.
Yeah. So it's So Jane's asking, what are the drums made of or made from?
Well, that's a good question, Jean. What are they made from? So I think the out part is metal, I think. Some kind of metal. I'm not too sure. And it might be an animal skin on top. I don't know. I'm lying to say I'm not.
We can find out and tell you next week.
I will. I shall ask the question because it's a good question. I shall ask the question tomorrow, and I shall let you know what they're made
from.
But
if they're that heavy, they probably are like a metal, aren't they? Like a steel type.
They are heavy, definitely. And Des has put that's great, and I'm going on Des's show on Sunday. So
you?
I'm dead excited. So I'm looking forward to that.
I went on Des's show a couple of weeks ago, before Christmas. It was. I went on, wasn't it? So Des has got Coast 107.9 on a Sunday between 4 and 6, and he plays great music.
He does play great music. I have it on sometimes. If I'm not doing something, I'll always listen to it. I love it.
Yeah. So, Batala, moving forward, what are your big goals for it then?
My big goals are to go to South America, which has been my goal for some time now. Yeah. So my goal is to go away if I can with them. You have to save up and pay your own flights and everything. Even though it's a charity, obviously you have to fund your own trips and stuff. But they do it in a really cost-effective way.
Brilliant.
So like the guy who invented Batala, they have like these places you can stay and everything. And she said it's really cheap. It's like £2 to £5 a night and everything. And so it's cool. So that's my goal.
So what happens in this country then? What? Because I know that sometimes they're like at the Albert, I've seen them play in the Albert Dock and
they do loads of charitable things. They do loads and loads for charity. They'll help charities raise money. and things like that. So I think if it's a prestigious event when they're on stage and stuff, maybe the newbies, if they've got any sense, certainly with myself, won't be allowed on to do that. But the more experienced people might do that. But they do loads, like they did the diversity awards, they do the pirate things at the Albert Dock, they do loads of stuff. So they'll do things, and I think they might charge a nominal amount just to help fund the project. And then they raise money for charity and stuff. So it's really good. It's a good thing, you know.
So they have like a carnival, don't they, in Liverpool?
Yeah, they do. They do the Oye, which is the African carnival, and the Brouhaha, and they do lots and lots of things. So.
And Dana, who's listening in, she was part of the carnival, but she goes like as and has the big wings. Have you seen them with the big wings? Yeah. So she's done carnivals in Liverpool and Manchester, all over the country. And she, again, it's having those big sort of like, you know, the wings on the back and stuff like that. And you know, the weight of those, isn't it? And then to dance and move. And so I've seen her in one of the carnival. I can't think what it was, but it was in town, and it went past the bomb church, and then it went all around town. And she has, you know, the costume on, and then the Batala drummers were there, and then there was lots of different other people. And it was just amazing to see all these different people coming together and doing this great big like procession through and they were, you know, they have all like the Rio Carnival type with the headdresses and things like that. And it's just, it's really, really cool. Yeah. Oh, Basilica, well done, Day. Oh, and Joe's listening in as well.
Joe, Basilica.
Well, kiss to Joe as well. Basilica Festival, and Dana was like, they're cool in that.
Well, I can't be wearing the big wings like Dana does because I'm too busy with a drum. And and having to move my legs. I'm not coordinated like Dana. Having to move my legs, do the drum and balance wings. We know where that's going to go, don't we?
I need to pay for that. So they say the best night of her life it was, And I know she did loads. So she did loads in Liverpool. She did stuff in Manchester. She did stuff in, I think it was Leeds or somewhere like that, and travelled around with this. And they look amazing, don't they? You know, you're amazing, San. You are amazing.
Thank you. You haven't seen
Wait till you hear it, Joe. You haven't heard the play yet.
Well, there we go. Crash and wallop.
Amazing. I love it. I think it's great.
Good.
So we were just having a little chat about Des's show.
Yeah.
And it's 4 till 6 on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And part of my thing for the new year was, one of my goals for the new year was to do a few extreme challenges and things like that. And I didn't want to use the word like diet or anything like that. I wanted to use like a healthy, sustainable life. So rather than saying, well, I'm going on this particular diet and you can't, you know, then you want chocolate, don't you? We wanted to be sustainable, and we spoke about it, didn't we? About being sustainable and just having what you want and not putting a label on it and everything like that. So on a Sunday, I listened to Des's show.
Yeah.
As I do my batch cooking.
Yeah.
And this week I made blind but awake scouse.
I've got, in a minute, ask me about the Peruvian stew. Go on.
I will. But I made blind but awake scouse. So Christine Penman, who was one of our guests previously, who's got Fletcher's, bought me the Indigo Greens cookbook. So Indigo Greens, for people who don't know, is an amazing vegan plant-based restaurant in Larkhill Shops in Liverpool.
I went on Saturday. It was amazing.
Oh, it's amazing. But they've been voted like best in the country, and also they've won like loads of awards.
Not surprised.
And Patty is the girl who opened it with Mark.
Right.
And she cooks everything from fresh and from scratch. And the food's amazing, and we've been a couple of times, haven't we? And we've had, you know, takeaways from there, haven't we? You know, during when we were allowed out and stuff like that. And she's created a cookbook, which is her menu that she serves in the shop, which is a really cool thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and I was thinking, why would you tell everybody what you cooked? You know, but as well, when you taste the food and you want to go somewhere, you're going to go even more, aren't you? Because it's nice for somebody else to cook it for you and stuff like that.
Yes, and I want to recreate, if possible, the cauliflower wings, because they are just the nicest thing ever. So I had a bowl of them.
Yeah. Oh, they're amazing. Yeah.
I just love them so much.
I've tried cauliflower wings, but not with her recipe, with a different one, and it didn't work out as good as hers. But hopefully with her recipe it will. But I made scouse, and it was blind scouse. And so instead of meat, you put poi lentils in.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Amazing. Just like so tasty. And then I had red cabbage, but I'm going to make my own red cabbage. That's my goal for next week. I'm going to have a go. And then I made this Peruvian stew. So part of our early bird fitness, isn't it? Oh, yes. Des says the scouse was boss, because Des and I had our lunch in the office. Yeah, I took lunch in for me and Des yesterday in the office, and he's saying it's boss. Part of our early bird fitness now, so our early bird fitness, we've decided we're going to have accountability and cook for each other. So we're going to I'm going to make like 4 things, 5 things, and we're going to do that. And it just helps us all get on track and not have to think about what we're cooking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I made Peruvian stew again, which was an indigo greens recipe, and gave it to everybody.
For my lunch.
Oh, so I'm having it for me tea, so I haven't tasted it yet.
Oh my God, it's absolutely gorgeous. And I wanted to ask you if there was like pimiento in it, because it's like got a smoky flavor to it.
Smoked paprika it was.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Really
lovely. The cayenne pepper. I had a taste of it. For me personally, it's probably I've put, because it said a teaspoon and a half.
For you, I thought, gosh, it was quite spicy. It was lovely. Really lovely. I'd definitely make it.
Yeah, and it was like dead easy, and and it's full of just vegetables and things like that, and it was gluten-free, and so we were on a win there.
So I've got to make something for Thursday morning.
Yeah. So it can be breakfast, lunch, or tea. It can be whatever you want. It's just got to be a healthy option, so that when people are getting home from work or they're taking the lunch.
Yeah.
I'm going to post about it on our social media about like what we're having and stuff.
Good. I absolutely loved it, and I would definitely make it. It was just delicious. So I'm not too sure what I'm going to do for tomorrow, though. That's the only thing. Not tomorrow, for Thursday morning.
Yeah. So it could be a breakfast. It could be. So last week I made a vegan breakfast, which I make for myself anyway, and it's the vegan sausages, and then I do tofu scrambled egg. And then I do spinach and mushrooms, and I know baked beans is not your thing, but I do that as well. And I gave Soph breakfast, and then she was like, it was amazing. So yeah. But it's cool, isn't it? But I made on, what day was it? On Monday. On Monday, Chapter of Us is the little restaurant, isn't it? Cafe bar at the top of by our office. And my dad came in, and I love scrambled egg like bullets. But
what do you mean like bullets?
When it's rock hard, I don't like soggy scrambled egg. When people have sloppy scrambled egg.
Yeah.
So I don't like sloppy scrambled egg. I like hard scrambled egg. So it's like scrambled a bit too much.
Okay.
So yeah. But Joe, I'll make you some tofu scrambled egg. And Dana will like that as well.
Gorgeous. That's lovely. The one you did for me, I've forgotten about that actually. The one you did for me was lovely. What's the stuff you spray on top?
The nutritional yeast.
Yeah.
That gives it like the nutty flavour, the nutty cheesy flavour.
I need to get back onto all of that. It was really, really nice. I did overnight oats last night with almonds in, and blueberries and almond milk, and Ro had it this morning as well. And he said, I did put a teaspoon of honey in, I must be honest. And he did say he thought it was lovely, and I liked it. So when I came back from exercises this morning, I did that.
Brilliant.
Because I had a client straight away at 8 o'clock this morning. So I sort of come in, had that, got the coffee made, the most important bit, and then went online and talked for 2 hours. And then I got a quick shower, and then went and met John Howie for our meeting, which was good. Oh yeah, Joe says, yes, please. I was thinking today, it would be if Joe could come back to the group, Joe and Dana maybe.
Yeah, they will do when they're ready. They'll come back, and they can bring
it. Be nice, and
yeah, it'd be cool. And they
Yes.
can bring us some lovely food and we'll share.
Yes.
And Dana's very good. Dana's like a pretty good little chef.
Ah,
So yeah,
brilliant.
she can rustle something up in the kitchen for us. Some little snacks maybe. Maybe
Snackettes.
some, yeah.
Well, the other, I need to get some bags though to put stuff in, like if it's stew or soup. I thought that today I'm going to have to do that, so I'll do that. But I'm really looking forward to it, and I think it was a genius idea, another genius idea of yours.
I know, just full of them.
To do that, you are full of them about the healthy food and everything. So it's made up. But me lunch was just delicious. But here's the thing, Helen. That lunch had quinoa in it, and it was a very generous portion. Theoretically, that was enough for 2 meals. So
Really?
well, what I had was massive. Yeah, but I ate it all, obviously, because it was so
Yeah.
nice. And this is my point. I ate it all for lunch myself, the quinoa, the Peruvian stew, and then made a dinner tonight.
I know, because it's only the only thing in it. It's only vegetables in it, and then the one. So that recipe that so everything she does for 5 to 8 people, or 5 to 8 servings.
Right.
And then she says you can portion it up in the fridge for like 3 to 5 days, or you can freeze it for up to 3 months. So it's great to make a big pan of it using the same amount of fuel, aren't you, to like cook it. So you may as well just make a big massive pan, portion it all up and everything like that. And so I portioned it, and I thought, oh, that's about right, that for a portion.
Yeah.
But it's only vegetables, so it's like, it's cool. So
well, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was so nice.
So I'm having that for my tea. But I also made cauliflower and cashew nut.
You frozen for me. Cauliflower and cashew nut what?
Soup.
Oh, soup.
Soup, yeah. So I went to Chapter of Us. That's what me and Dad had for our lunch on Monday.
Oh.
And I just Googled how to make it, and it was amazing. So, but I did it in the soup maker.
Well, I need one of these, especially with me being committed to legging it to drumming school now and doing it, of course, you know.
So you put it all in the soup maker, turn it on, and it cooks it, whizzes it, and turns it off. So you haven't got to worry about a burnt pan.
How lovely. Well, because I do get things when I cook them and I think, oh, what's that? And then I have to run downstairs. I
have to physically stand there. If I go away, that's it. My pan's burnt. I have to physically stand there and things. But it was very, very nice. Yeah.
It was, well, thank you. It's very kind of you. And Joe's put, getting Kerris settled into a new school. How lovely, and good luck to Kerris. And
yeah. She's a little superstar.
Massive shout out for her going to a new school.
Yeah, definitely. She's a little superstar.
Lovely new friends and everything, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. So, shout out to any grown-ups this week.
Loads. A massive shout out to John Howie, who's just a dream, all he does is help people in business. He's really innovative. He has loads of ideas, and you know, I had a really good meeting with him today, and the meeting was about an hour. It was supposed to be, and I think we were an hour and a half. And I left out of it thinking, oh, that's great, that's brilliant, you know, moving forward. And he's doing loads of good stuff as well. So that's fantastic. And, you know, he's coming on the show next week. So he's going to be speaking about everything that they're offering there at John Moores University to help local business. And it's all free. It's all supported. You know, we're so lucky. And then there's further from buying, there's further some value added support. So maybe students can come and help you develop an app or do whatever you need to improve your business digitally, really your digital offer. So massive shout out for him, and thank you for his time today. And
I had the meeting with John on Friday. Well, sorry, Friday. That was when my dad come for dinner. It was Friday, and he brought Craig, who's learning the business side of it with him.
Right.
And they were just lovely, and Craig was brilliant, and he was really interested in the business and how to move forward digitally and coming up with ideas that we hadn't thought of and stuff.
And that's it. You see, because they're not in the business, they step back and look at it differently. And you know, he was talking to me today about it, and he mentioned each of the young people, and he gave a shout, and he said, oh, you know, about Jack, and you know, he said about each of them and what Jack was doing, what Emmett was doing, and what Beth was doing. And he fully appreciated all of them and said, so I thought, how good's that? Because he must meet loads of businesses every day. and he knows so many people. So I was really delighted. So I'm looking forward to next week. And of course, we've got a big event going on with him, I'm really looking forward to that. So
but it was great because he came into the office and we have our positive jar. So Beth, our young person, created, so she's our new apprentice, which is a big shout out to Beth for being there. And she on it week 1 she created a positive jar, and it was positive quotes, and we take one out every week and we put it on the board, and that's what we live by the week. So because John was in on Friday, it was just, you know, when we have guests or visitors into our office, we get them to pick one out.
And
he picked it out, and he just loved the whole idea of it. He thought, what a great idea. And then he said, I'm gonna pinch this idea or something. And we said, oh yeah, you know, share it away. And then he put it on his Facebook page and he shared our quote. So Beth was delighted, like, you know, because it's nice, isn't it, that she's got the recognition of, and then John, and then somebody that John knew took and they said, oh, we're going to post this. So it's quite cool to share that positive message, isn't it, for everybody, which is
brilliant. Yeah, looks lovely. And he knew Des as well. What a small world. Everyone knows Des anyway.
Everyone knows Des too.
Everyone knows Des, yeah. And he said he hadn't seen Des for 10 years. So I thought, how mad's that?
And it was really funny because they sat next to each other and just chatted like they'd seen each other yesterday. And Des is an amazing Father Christmas. Des played a Father Christmas and was like, as a helper to Father Christmas. He helped out because Father Christmas is very busy in December. And Des stepped in to help out. But John Howie is an unbelievable
John Howie's the best Father Christmas ever in the history of the world.
He's a very good helper, isn't he? Very, very good helper.
Yeah, definitely. Cool.
Do you have a red face this moment? This moment?
I've got loads. My red face wasn't being the best at the drumming, but I knew that was going to happen anyway. I just need to practice and work hard at it. It wasn't a red face.
It was your first time?
I know. Oh, there was a red face. The man who was conducting it all, who was very nice and patient, gave me, I said, I'd like to try the big giant drum. So he gives me this drum and I'm stood there with it all, like just stood at the side while everyone's getting it. And this woman goes, has anyone seen my drum? And I was like that. And she was like a proper member of the group. And she's going and she goes, can I just have a look? And I said, oh, the man gave it to me. Anyway, she goes, yes, they're my initials. And I was like, I said, I'm so sad. So then we had to unhook me, give this poor lady, and I was going, I'm terribly sorry. But she sort of realised I hadn't nicked it, that I'd been given it. So then I went over and they hooked me up. So then they say, you have a smaller one. So then they gave me this other drum, which was great, and I loved it. And that was cool and everything. But that was a bit embarrassing. Then, of course, I got, when I thought they'd asked me to leave because it was appalling, but they hadn't. It was just that they needed my details, thank God. So that was okay. And then there was the whole app incident about me being put down as a poorer driver and having been excited and thinking I was a good driver, but realised that you drove all the way to Wales back when we went up Mulvama. So I'm racking them up this week.
Brilliant. I haven't got any. I think I had a red face, right, in my dream and thought to myself,
and you thought,
but
what?
Actually, I thought it was like, I don't know what it was. And then I was just thinking, I thought, I'm sure I had a red face moment. But I think I actually was in a dream and I dreamt thinking I must save that because I can't for the life of me remember what my red face was.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, no doubt yours will rack up next week. You'll have loads as well, I'm sure.
I've been quite good recently. I'm sort of like on it a little bit, you know. So, yeah, I haven't sort of jumped out at anybody or done anything like that.
I've got a shout out for another grown-up, actually. I had a new client start tonight who was lovely, really lovely. And I've taught 4 different people who work at the Royal now in completely different roles. And they're just gorgeous people, all of them. You know, they're just so nice. And a big shout out for her on her first Spanish lesson because she did well indeed. Yeah.
Brilliant. And I want to give a big shout out to An Hour for Others as well. So An Hour for Others was our guest. And again, going out and supporting people and still doing amazing things. And when we started talking, Sandy was saying about, you know, how our city comes together and everybody helps each other and they're always the first to say, you know, yes, we will. And I just think sometimes, you know, when you know somebody and you've done something for them, and then you can say, like, and I was having this conversation about how much should you give out to people. So should you give out as much as you possibly can, and not expect anything in return, or do you trade it off? And I said, I don't trade it off. I just help as many people as I possibly can, and then hopefully one day, if I'm in need, somebody will help me. I don't do it as a trade, so I don't think, well, I've given you something, I'm waiting for something back.
100%. I think you should just help people, and they have this thing about paying it forward or whatever. And I don't think you should help someone for them to help you.
No.
I just think if you can help someone, help them. And that person may never help you. There's people who've helped me in my life who I've never been able to help them ever. Certainly when I was young, never helped them back. They've just been kind to me. But what you do take from that is the ability to help others.
Definitely.
And I was the recipient of a great act of kindness. We're finishing soon, so I can't really speak about it in depth. But I had the most immense act of kindness. Well, Tom's listening. When I was in America, that was just quite a save, to be stood after Hurricane Katrina, stood queuing for bread and water, and for someone to take us, help us, look after us, it was incredible. And that act of kindness, like I was about 33, 34, that's helped me right through the rest of my life, really.
And you can take it and you can give it to somebody else, can't you? You haven't got to wait for that person to. So we're finishing because it's time. Do we have a mantra for today?
Well, my mantra is what what Martin sang threw back in my face when I said I didn't want to go through, and I was like, no, I hate water, and I've used it today.
Okay.
And I said, your comfort zone's your failure zone, and that was said to me by John Haynes. And I've tried to live like that, and it's true. If you put yourself out your comfort zone, you'll achieve, scary as it is. If you stay in your comfort zone, you're just stagnant, aren't you? Hence the drumming.
Right, excellent. So we wish you good luck on your drumming, and we hope that we hope to hear even more about it next week, about what happened on week 2. Yeah. It's like a soap opera, isn't it? We're going to find out week 1, week 2.
Yeah, well, we have the allotment gate.
Allotment gate gone. This is Drummond Gate now, but Drummond Gate's going to stay until you go travelling.
There's a reason allotment gate happened.
There is. So, massive thank you to you. Lovely to see you. And we'll have a guest next week. So stay safe, everybody.
John Howie's on next week.
John Howie's on. So amazing. They're excited to see John Howie next week. So yes, stay safe, and we'll see you all next week.
Adios, hasta luego. Bye.
Adios.